The fact that young Baby Tate was on the stage wearing her natural body, being confident and loving the skin that she was in, and people were triggered, really shows how we think about Black women and therefore how we think about ourselves. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Black Girls Make Music. My name is Lizzo and I'm so happy that you are here. I am so excited to talk about today's topic because I feel like it's been something that I've been thinking about, chewing on. You know, I've seen people criticize SZA for lying about her age or young Baby Tate for not being out here snatched, as some people will call it. And we'll get to that in a second. But my name is Lizzo. I'm a multi-passionate creative and singer-songwriter, and I'm here to encourage you to live a creative life of your dreams. So if you are an independent artist, be sure to download the Independent Artist Toolkit in the description below. Let's get started. So recently I saw a video about young Baby Tate, who was a singer, and she was on stage performing, I don't know where, but she had, you know, a little outfit on and she had a little belly. And people were criticizing her body, saying that she needs to get in the gym, she's undisciplined, all these different things. And it really pissed me off because I really feel like people forget what bodies really look like. There are some people who are very dedicated to the gym, who are very dedicated to their physique, and I feel like that's all fine and good. But for the regular people out here like myself, who aren't in the gym all the time, 24/7, upkeeping that kind of body, we're kind of looked down on as lazy or fat, or, you know, there's a lot of body shaming going on because of what the image is of Black women's bodies being pushed out in the media. The thing is, when you see these people with these banging bodies and these curves, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, but it also takes maintenance to keep these bodies up. If people don't have the resources to go to the gym like that, if people aren't really dedicated to that, if people just love their body the way it is, why is that a problem for everybody else? I'm trying to be very careful with how I conduct this conversation because I feel like all bodies are beautiful. Every single body is beautiful. The one with the flat tummy and the one with the tummy hanging over their underwear or their pants, all bodies are beautiful. However, we have to be realistic about the fact that these bodies that are, you know, curvy and hourglass and like super thin in the waist are marketed. It's a market. People are being sold what they should look like. People are being told what they should look like. I know even for myself, I struggle with my own self-image because I'm like, dang, well, I don't look like them. I have cellulite. I don't have, you know, the curves in these places, or I have a lot of fat in these places. And I thought that because of what I've been seeing on television, in the media, oh, well, my body's not beautiful. When in reality, it is. It's just that these bodies are being marketed to. And a lot of these bodies that we see in the media either have had work done, which I'm not shaming, do what you want to do, or people have been working out really hard to get these bodies. And so this really ties in with the music industry and the pressures put on Black women to be everything that they aren't in order for them to be marketable. The industry really looks at these women as a product. That's why when you see the industry, everybody looks the same, sounds the same. Yeah, it's like the women in the music industry have been made into a monolith. Like they all look the same. They all sound the same. They all create the same music. They all have the same vibe and singing. And I feel like trends happen because that's what happens every year. But I feel like more and more women are becoming a monolith, and it's really pissing me off. Everybody is talented. However, the people who have the better look tend to get the more shine. It just is what it is in that industry, unfortunately. There are a lot of people who are talented that will never get the amount of shine that other artists get because they're not willing to be marketed that way. And I'm not saying that because someone chooses to be marketed that way, that makes them a worse person. It just means that they make their own decisions, and every decision has a consequence. And so I love that for young Baby Tate. I love that she's loving her body. I love that she is spreading the real message of body positivity. Like, hey, this is what my body looks like and I love it. And you should love yours. What's also amazing to me is that most of these comments are coming from women, which makes me wonder, like, at what point were you programmed to think that your body wasn't enough, that you weren't beautiful, that you weren't disciplined? Who did you listen to that had you criticizing other people's for their body? Because if you had enough love for yourself, you could love yourself in every stage and not be critical of other people you don't know, other people you have no idea what their level of discipline is, but you're making all of these assumptions based on how their body looks. It's crazy. And that brings me to another point. There was another issue that was brought up a long time ago about SZA and how she lies about her age. Basically, there was this whole thing where SZA, like this whole thread on Twitter, where SZA was lying about a lot of things. And was she lying? I don't know. I don't know her. That's really not my business. But when someone brought up about her lying about her age, I understood. Even if SZA didn't lie, I would understand why she lied. In this industry, it's pushed that women be young, sexy, vibrant their entire lives. And once they're not, meaning not marketable, then they're disposable in this music industry. And unfortunately, the younger you are, the more time you have in the industry. People love the idea of young people hitting it big. They love the idea of worshiping youth. Like really, we literally idolize youth in this country. We think that older people are disposable. Look at people in older homes, you know, people who are thrown away. And that's a broad statement because I understand some people need help. help in older homes. However, we throw away older people and we fear getting older because of how society looks at older people. In other cultures and countries, older people are hailed as celebrities. They have the wisdom, they have the experience, they have everything that we need. But it's only in Western culture that we look down on people who age. And so people are afraid of aging. People are afraid of hitting 30. You have people on the internet today saying that once you hit 30, you hit a wall and your life is basically over and nobody will want you. That's crazy. That's so absurd. When we see people every single day at 80, 90, even 100 years old, starting their whole lives over, starting a new dream over. And just because you get older doesn't mean that you're not talented anymore. Your talent just don't dry up at 30. That doesn't even make any sense. Your dreams don't dry up at 30, but yet we have so many millennials like me who suffer with quarter-life crises, but people who really think that their life is over at 25 or 30, when it's unrealistic for you to hit your stride before 30. At 30, you're just relearning yourself. Think about this. You're in school for 18 years, right? You're in school from kindergarten until you're 18 and you graduate. You don't know who you are at that point. Then you go to college. You spend however many years it took you to graduate. It took me 9 years, that's okay. It took me 9 years to graduate college. Then at 26, I got married. 27, I'm just figuring out who I am. And at 31 right now, I'm loving myself. I'm loving where I am in life. I'm loving who I am because I feel like I'm finally getting to the heart of who I am. Now, if I had hit it big as a singer back then, I would have been a train wreck. I was so worried about pleasing other people, so worried about, losing my talent and my beauty and all the stuff that didn't matter because I was so weighed down by the pressures of this world. Now, other artists lie about their age, or women lie about their age or omit their age because of how the industry treats them based on how old they are. And it's really sad. It's really tacky because your age has no bearing on how talented you are. It has no bearing on what you can offer the world. And sadly, a lot of women are not out there because they think that they missed their time. They're too old. Meanwhile, a man at 50 can start their career today and be famous. It's crazy. It's crazy because we start to believe these things. And unfortunately, the powers that be, who are mostly men, run this company and they make the rules. However, if you are a DIY artist, you get to make your own rules. You don't have to fit a certain look because you'll find your people who resonate with your message. You don't have to be a certain age because people don't care. Are you speaking to them? Do you understand them? I love every time I hear of an artist who really started to get big after 30. Because it really provides hope for me and other people who I know are trying to make it out there, who are, obsessed with their age because somehow they have been convinced that they have no talent now that they are over 30. And so what am I saying? Am I saying that people who choose to get signed are, sellouts? No, I'm not. They're playing the game. Cardi B herself made a post saying that she wanted to make music about stuff that she wanted to make music about. However, the market didn't want that from her. They determined what she wanted to rap about, what she wanted to sing about, what she wanted to share in her art. Because she's worried about being paid and getting money, which I totally understand, she is more focused on doing what is marketable. And some artists are just not willing to do what is marketable for the sake of making money because they care more about their art and their music. And I would even argue that they care about money as well. However, they're not willing to give up their creative control and freedom, and even give up versions of themselves to be successful in this industry. I don't know. As I age, I'm beginning to see how toxic this culture really is for Black women in general, but also Black women artists, because this pressure is already put on us to achieve some sort of way or arrive some sort of way. We already are pit against each other. Like, there can only be one great rapper. Why can't there be many rapping about many different things, But really, the sad thing is that sadly, the market is for the male gaze for a lot of people. Even this idea, and I know it might sound a little, controversial, even this idea of sexual freedom, I feel like it's still under the gaze, under the white gaze, under the white male gaze specifically. Because if we really truly had sexual freedom and liberation, that means I could show up on a music video with my overalls and still be respected, even if I didn't show up wearing a bikini and still get the same amount of traction. I don't know. I have more thoughts and I'll probably make a different video about that sometime. But it's just the idea of Black women in the music industry and how heavily they are targeted and ripped apart and criticized for just being human. And I am so blessed that I did not get signed at a young age because my self-esteem would have been in the toilet. I cared so much about what people thought back then. But what I'm loving seeing now is women being like, this is my body, this is who I am, this is what I believe, and standing in that. This is how old I am. And if you don't like it, too bad for you. But they are dead set on creating their path of success without compromising who they are. And I love that. And that is inspirational to me. So young Baby Tate, if you ever see this, you know, if you never see this, I understand. But if you ever see this, please know that you're inspiring me. You're inspiring me to be more free and see myself as beautiful. SZA, you ain't got to lie about your age. Even if you didn't, you know, you don't have to lie about your age. Artists out there, you don't have to lie about your age. Your age has nothing to do with, you know, your talent. It has nothing to do with your talent. All it means is that you're more seasoned and you're probably more talented the older you get, more experience, right? There's so many things that we could look forward to in this future that I love seeing, because I know what it felt like to grow up watching music videos and not see people who look like me, right? People who felt awkward, or people who didn't really fit this mold of being super like light skinned with like straight hair and like even like super curvy. I'm loving seeing the different body types being celebrated, the different experiences, the gap in people's teeth. I love that. I had gap teeth when I was a kid. I couldn't see that, but now I'm starting to see a world in which if I have children, they can see bodies, people, experiences that look just like them. So let me know what you think. Like, I don't know. What do you think about this industry? Do you think that it's pretty rigid for Black women? If you're an artist, do you plan on going that route? Do you feel like you have to compromise a little bit of yourself to go that route? I feel like that I do, which is why I'm more set on being independent so I can control my own narrative. And I'm not knocking the women who do it, because y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do and y'all look beautiful doing it. But for me, I just know that that's just not really my thing, and that's okay. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you like it, like it. If you didn't, you don't have to. And share it with somebody who needs to hear this, because listen, there's room for you. You are beautiful and you're enough. All right. So until next video, y'all, talk to y'all soon. Bye.